Easy, mercenary. Go do what you're getting paid for.
The Order of the Freeborn Blades is of great repute, and the mercenary does honor to its name. The mercenary's powers are both astonishing and fascinating. The knight would like to duel with the mercenary, that he may judge the mercenary's strength.
It's not really the right moment, but if you want, we can talk about it later.
Miss Vulcan, what brings you here?
I've got a few questions I'd like to ask about this village.
I imagine there are few who are better placed than myself to answer them.
How come it's you that's running the show here?
What a question. Because, my friend, someone has to. You imagine I'm doing this for my amusement, perhaps? Doubtless you wish it was someone else. The chief of the watch has trouble organizing 3 peasants. Our dear apothecary is evidently keen to give succor to any and every poor soul who wanders into the healing house. And regardless of your reputation, the people of this village would never trust outsiders such as yourself, or even the Red Scribes. So yes, it is indeed I who command here. The one-time steward of the hunting lodge of Valvanor, now leader of this shithole.
Well, hell, I'm glad we got that cleared up. What can you tell me about the people of Valvanor?
Before the war, there were just a few families here. Hunters and craftsmen, mostly. These days, they survive as best they can, husbanding their animals and digging up the puny vegetables they've managed to grow. Few dare to venture outside the walls. These woods are fruitful, but more perilous than ever before, and most of these folk know nothing of arms.
But you've got your guards.
They hardly qualify as an armed militia. Of the few that remain, most are sturdy farmers whom we have entrusted with some kind of weapon. Most of the real fighters left the village as soon as war broke out. The others died while out on patrol. The only one left here with any real experience is Mason, the head of the guard. Sadly, the man is a walking beer keg, who could not give a dog's fart for what his men are about.
Who are all those refugees that you're keeping outside the walls?
The war with the Ice Lords has driven many from their homes and villages. Alas, it would seem that some of them found their way here. I have tried to accommodate as many as we can, and provide as much comfort as possible, but I fear we can do little more. We are reaching the end of our reserves, and relations between the refugees and the villagers are becoming strained.
The refugees can't all be dead weight. Some of them have got to be useful.
Oh, if only. Believe me, I would be the first to welcome them. These peasants have been fleeing from town to town and from camp to camp for months. The best and strongest of them perished in battles, somewhere along the way. I must deal with the leftovers I put the biggest of them in the watch, but they are of little use.
The healing house. It's a pretty good thing for your village, huh?
If you say so. As time has gone by, the healing house has drawn refugees to the swamps in ever greater numbers, and dissuaded some malingerers from returning to their families. When it opened its doors a year ago, the sense of relief was palpable. It was run by a couple, an elf doctor and his apothecary wife, who clearly were no strangers to the healing arts. Thanks to them, we were spared many plagues. But as the war dragged on, the endless tide of refugees continued to flow through our gates until we could harbor no more. 6 months ago, our worst nightmares were fulfilled. Our elf doctor fell ill and died. Since then, Mirana has soldiered on without rest, alone. I do not know how much longer she can keep going. The refugees just keep on coming. And I fear that poor woman is beginning to crumble under the strain. It's not surprising.
I need a blacksmith. Do you have one here?
With none more qualified, I asked Asiel to take over the village forge. I suppose I should warn you, he's quite a tricky character. He has a huge ego and is stubborn as an ox. Before the war, he was a sort of artist. He crafted jewelry and sculptures from metal. Despite running the forge, one could hardly call him a blacksmith. But he's the only one here who had even the vaguest notion of how to repair a shovel or straighten a blade.
The captain wants me to help your village. You got a job I can do?
With our shortages of food and fighting men, our worn-out equipment and the growing lines at the healing house, I cannot deny our village is sorely in need of help. Sadly, I fear that these are not the sort of problems you're used to dealing with, unless I'm much mistaken.
Maybe I'll surprise you. So what's the problem with the healing house?
Quite simply, Mirana cannot keep up. She spends every waking minute giving out supplies to the refugees and refuses to admit that she cannot help everyone. She thinks she's fooling me. I have heard rumors that her food stock is running low. Unsurprisingly, the crowds outside are becoming restless. I believe they wish to continue handing out our food reserves as though they were unlimited. This is not the case, and thus, it is not an option.
So, you want someone to put her down?
Why, I never suggested any such thing. I just wish she would see reason, for all our sakes. But I have asked nothing of you. I was merely answering your question.
Your sentries. How can I put this? At first I thought they were disobeying orders. Now I think maybe they don't even understand them. If you're stupid and incompetent, you should be digging turnips, not taking care of security.
You're beginning to worry me. Is it really that bad?
Are you kidding me? The state of their weapons is enough to make you cry. Maybe they'd be good for splitting logs.
Personally, I'm not capable of judging the aptitude of our sentries, but their poor results speak for themselves. Doubtless, you should share your observations with Mason, the chief of the watch. I should warn you, however, that he is of a somewhat stubborn nature.
Wouldn't be the first I've seen. I need the reports about this beast that attacked the villagers.
I fear I am unable to be of help. I'm still not entirely convinced that it even exists. All I know is that several villagers have vanished. One villager is at present in the doctor's care, following a supposed encounter with the said beast. These swamps are crawling with dangers. There is nothing to suggest anything out of the ordinary. The refugees are always inventing horror stories in an attempt to force us to open our gates and let them inside.
It might be worth checking out. You said you lost one of your patrols, right?
That is so. You should speak with Randval. He was most anxious to go out and hunt the beast down, but we needed him here. Now that we have more able bodies to guard our gates, I imagine he would be keen to pick up the scent once more.
We'll talk again later.
Greetings, mercenary. What can I do for you?
I have some questions I'd like to ask you. Who's the big snoring elf?
Show some respect, please. That's Prince Arundel.
And?
He's the son of the Elven King, leader of the last army standing against the Deadwalkers.
Yeah, okay. But he doesn't exactly look like he's ready to stand against anything right now. What's wrong with him? What's his problem?
From what I've been told, Relmar brought him here before we arrived. The prince and his men fell in an ambush. Without your friend, he wouldn't have made it out. Unfortunately, he was severely wounded and has probably been the victim of powerful magic. I'm trying to find a cure, but without much success for the moment.
Do you have any idea about what's happening to me?
I'm afraid I may not be able to help you. Your condition is more due to magic than medicine. Your symptoms remind me of certain mental illnesses, where the subject has the impression he hears voices in his head.
And do these nutcases throw fire and have eyes burning from within too?
You'd be surprised at what they can do. But obviously you're not like them. That being the case, if you study them, you might find some answers. In particular, I'm thinking of the fact that most of these poor madmen end up giving free rein to the darkest side of their personalities. Make sure that doesn't happen to you.
Can I have a look at your stock?
Vulcan, you must help me. The prince is dying.
Well, I'm happy to see that my talents as a doctor are finally being recognized.
There's no doubt an explosion would cure him of all his ills forever. But I was actually thinking about your connections with the Red Scribes. If you could speak to them, it would save me having the prince's death on my conscience.
I wouldn't exactly call myself a friend of theirs, but yeah, I can always give it a try. Let's move on. Do you have any idea how to wake the elf prince up?
Unfortunately, I don't. I think I've tried just about every remedy I know, but nothing works.
You said just about. I'm guessing that's not by chance.
It's true. There's one formula I haven't tried yet. An extremely powerful solution that requires a certain ingredient to make. An ingredient I don't have.
What is it?
A very virulent poison secreted by the chrysalid queen. But be careful you don't mix them up with the ones you usually see. I wanted to go looking for them myself, but the villagers stopped me. They say they're really dangerous. It seems they can be found along the road we took to get here. And apparently, they only come out at night.
I'll get you some. I gotta go. Relmar, you got a minute?
Yes?
We need to adjust your combat style.
What would you like me to do?
Think about protecting yourself in combat. Stay more defensive.
That's not really my preferred style, but I'll try to be more careful.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know?
Do you know what happened to me in the temple?
I'm still searching for an explanation. Something must have gone wrong during the ritual.
But what was the damn ritual supposed to do?
The Red Scribes have always had quite limited magical skills. I believe that the ritual was meant to increase their magical powers to try and find a way of combating the Ice Lords. But instead of channeling pure energy into each of the scribes, the ritual called forth a conscience that settled in you.
Your father called it a demon. How come I got stuck with it?
A demon? That reminds me of the old texts, but I couldn't say if that's what it is. You were standing right there, so that force flowed into you. It could have been my father, or any of us, I guess.
Oh, that's just great. Now what do I do?
I would dearly like to help you. But even though I have searched through all the texts I have here, I can find no reference to anything like this experience of yours, at least for now. But until we have found out more, you must try to fight against this thing. Do not allow it to get comfortable. We don't know what its intentions are or how powerful it is. It could be dangerous for you.
I need your help. Come with me?
If you want.
The knight heard talk of a troubling event that happened during the meeting between the mercenary and the steward.
Yeah. The short version is I have a demon living inside of me.
A demon? The knight has never heard of such a creature. Should he be worried?
For now, it's just a voice in my head that doesn't seem to want to hurt me. But if I start spitting fire and attacking everybody, I'm counting on you to do what has to be done. Okay?
The knight is honored by the trust placed in him. He will not betray it.
You want to fight? Okay, let's do it.
Let the clash of steel ring out beneath the infinite sky.
Wait for me here, Sybil. I won't be long.
Knight hopes that his adversary will not hold back her blows.
Oh, you can count on it.
Has never before battled an adversary with such power, and he believes that she could be that which is needed to change the course of this war.
You fight pretty good yourself. Where'd you learn your moves? I can't believe you learned to fight like that in this backwater.
The knight has traveled far and fought many battles. He has only lived in this village for a short time.
doing in the middle of these swamps when you could be making a difference on the battlefield?
The knight has fought a great many battles, but he feels he can be more useful protecting those who have nothing left.
I have to go. I'm glad we could test each other's mettle. It was fun.
Before his adversary rushes off to fight other battles, the knight has a question for her. He wishes to know if the freeborn blades would like him to join them.
I'm not the one who decides who joins the company, but I can ask the captain for you.
He has thought long on it, and wishes it would be so.
Well, that's great. I'll ask him, but I can't promise you anything. Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
I need your help. Come with me?
If you want.
Yeah, who are you? One of them fucking mercenaries, right?
Fucking mercenary, yeah. Sounds about right.
You know what I call your lot? Ore blades. And I got no time for ores.
Maybe if you were to do something about your bad breath, the whores would let you get close to them, you know? I'm just saying.
Go fuck yourself, ore blade. Do I have to spill it out, or should I just put my boot in your arse? Clear off!
Would you just shut your stupid mouth for 2 seconds, please? The steward sent me here to help you.
Oh, that's all I need. Don't he think I got enough on my plate? Now he sends me some ore blade from God's nowhere. Hey, as long as it ain't me is paying for you, hey? You want to help? Knock yourself out. But I warn you, there's plenty to do.
Get to the point before I set a torch to your breath.
All right, take it easy. No need to get nasty, eh? You want to help? Yes or no?
Keep talking.
Well, for a start, you could try and find one of my patrols that's gone missing. At first, I thought maybe one of those half-wits was sleeping it off under a tree somewhere. But it's been a while now. Maybe something bad happened to him in the swamp.
I guess I could go back and check.
What a coincidence. That's exactly what I was going to ask you. After that, well, I suppose a pro like you, I guess you would be useful helping out the sentries. It won't be luxury. I don't know if you've seen what we're supposed to fight with, but, wow, if you can have a word with your quartermaster to see what he can do for my lads, you have my blessing.
The benediction, Brother Jork. Better and better.
It's what all us fucking mercenaries dream of. All right, I'll see what I can do.
Right, we may be living in the arsehole of Virtue, but being armed like a bunch of tramps, we can do without. And while you're at it, when you've been to the forge, you'll probably feel like letting off steam a bit. Why don't you go and take it out on my lads?
What do you mean?
Kick their arses so they can't sit down and get drunk instead of patrolling. And show them a couple of tricks while you're at it. A bit of training. Couldn't do no harm.
Your men can't afford to keep their thumbs in their asses. It's time to teach them how to use those weapons.
Knock yourself out, Pettyblade. I'll go and shake them awake. Done better. I reckon the lesson is gonna leave a few marks this time. Have you got time to go again, while they're still warmed up?
Why not? Let's go.
so, they are making progress. If you whack them enough times, they remember how to defend themselves. Are you up for giving them one last lesson?
Maybe later on. If I'm not careful, I might break a few bones.
Look at this. My favorite fucking troublemaker.
About those sentry guards. I hope your men have managed to remember a couple of moves. I plan to put them through a test where they'll take some licks.
I'll get them fired up and ready to put their hearts into it. Of course, they'll hate you for a while, but what they learned here today will save their lives one day.
My pleasure. I like this way of saving lives.
Haven't you anything better to do than bother me?
Hang on a sec. The steward himself sent me here to give you a hand.
Wonderful. I've been after him for months to get me some help, and he sends me an armed ape. You practice medicine, I presume? Your tools seem rather barbaric.
Hey, I might actually surprise you.
Really? Well, in that case, I need some black ochre water lilies, some root of baratane, and some lindidia leaves. Since you're so clever, you won't have any trouble recognizing them and bringing them back.
Insolent little bitch.
Even I would be unable to recognize those herbs without the help of my father or of Sylvan. I think that this woman is mocking you.
Is that so? Well, the fact is, I have great need of those plants.
If I find any poison ivy, how about I make you a nice bouquet? Then you can put it where the sun don't shine.
Well, at least you've got some wit, and might even be capable of identifying poison ivy. Perhaps I've misjudged you. In fact, there is something that you could doubtless do for me. I'm worried about my assistant Haman. I haven't seen him for a while now, and I fear he might have gone into the swamps to look for the plants I need. We're forced to venture further and further in to find the plants we need. With all that's been going on lately, I forbade him from going back out alone, but the boy is nothing if not stubborn.
Ah, stubborn? Yeah, I hate people like that.
Please find him. He's a good boy. He's done nothing but help others since he arrived. Without him, the House of Healing would be a house of death.
If I'm gonna go slogging through the swamps anyway, might as well take a look around and try to bring back the plants you need too, right? Got any drawings or descriptions?
Yes, that's a good idea. I would be grateful to you, but above all, try to bring back my assistant Haman in one piece. He is your priority. For the rest, basically, I need food, medicinal herbs, and of course, I wouldn't say no to a few pre-prepared potions. All of our stock seems to disappear so quickly. I'll give you the parchment that I made for Haman to help you recognize the specimens I need. He knows them by heart now, after so many trips.
Right. Plants, potions, chow, and one assistant. If I come across some elven tea, would you like a cup of that too?
That would be lovely.
I'll take my leave. See you later.
It's on account of that Nigella, ain't it? I take one look at her, and suddenly it's the end of the world.
You okay?
You could at least answer when I ask you a question.
Hello?
Greetings, mercenary.
Seeing as how you're pretty resourceful, I figured you know everybody around here. Is there a blacksmith around somewhere?
Yes, there is one. Me.
I should have known. Another faker?
Not at all. Listen, I understand you might think I'm some kind of charlatan, but before being an outcast starving in the worst hole in the swamp, I was a blacksmith. The problem is that I don't have any forge or equipment. Otherwise, believe me, I wouldn't be out here begging just to survive.
Why not use the village forge?
I tried that, but that idiot, the so-called artist that works there, almost took my head off and started throwing everything that wasn't nailed down at me. No, what I really need to work right is my equipment. My forge cart.
And where is your cart?
At the other end of the swamp, unfortunately. Here, look. I'll show you on your map.
If I get it back for you, you'll have to help me fix up the guard's equipment. Agreed?
Agreed. On one condition, of course. That you also get me some supplies. Let's see. There aren't that many guards, so about 10 pieces of raw metal, 10 good leather hides, and 10 pieces of refined metal should do the trick.
Well, I hope that means our guards will be well equipped.
These people are amateurs. This village is about as secure as your granny's underwear. Not a single watchman at his post. It's worse than I'd imagined.
I'll deal with this, Captain.
Good. I'm counting on you. Remember, if you screw this up, we'll all be joining the ranks of the Dead Walker army as soon as their scouts find this place.
Captain, I just fought a duel with Ranval, the guardian of the village. Before you start yelling about wasted energy, I want you to know that it was his idea. He's one hell of a fighter. He hits you like he was chopping down a tree. And he could take a blow and shake it off. He wants to join the Blades.
I have the feeling that every new recruit I take on these days is headed straight for the cemetery. But considering the losses we've suffered, I suppose I can't refuse. Bring him here to me. I'll check him out.
The villagers told me about a beast. I need to find its lair.
Hawk talked to me about that a while ago. He said he'd found some suspicious-looking tracks that led back to the northern swamps.
I'll go and follow the tracks. Where's Hawk?
No idea. I sent him off to scout that part of the swamp, but he hasn't reported back yet.
Captain, I wanted to ask... How did we end up in this swamp?
The Red Scribes knew of this place and said that we'd be safe here for a while. And apart from a few repulsive beasties creeping around outside the walls, it's actually quite peaceful. I don't think I'd buy a house here, though, would you? So we'll heal our wounded, try and learn what's happening to you, and then get the hell out of here.
Do you really think we should be trusting these Red Scribes?
Vulcan, I'm not going to try and make this pretty. These are tough times. Thanks to this cursed war, our list of potential clients is shrinking faster than my dick when I jump into an ice bath. I get it, that after what happened in the temple, you'd like to send them all packing. This whole demon business is complicated. But we are mercenaries after all is said and done. We're not a charity. We're only as good as our clients. And you know, even if they did screw things up back there, they were right to try and find some way to beat the Ice Lords. What's the alternative? Lie down and wait to freeze?
Thanks to them, we nearly all bought it back at the temple. And I'm not even convinced it was an accident.
You have a point. And since we don't want to finish up as a pile of bodies under a snowdrift, we're going to keep a sharp eye on them from now on.
Do you think the company... Do you think we're gonna make it?
Of course. The Blades have always come through. They've existed for more than 2 centuries, and they won't give up now. Not during my watch. But to tell you the truth, we're not looking too fresh. Not with the losses we took back at the temple. And as for new recruits, it's been what? A year or more since we found anyone worthwhile.
Most of us were recruited when the war began, and there aren't many of them left. The only available recruits now are either cowards, deserters, or kids.
If we're gonna hold this village, we're going to have to do it using the locals, even though most of them look like they couldn't organize a party in a brewery. As soon as we've recovered a bit, we'll break camp and head for Carroll Pass. I already sent some of the Blades ahead to see if they could find any new recruits. With a bit of luck, they'll come up with something better than one-armed, no-legged trolley rollers.
I'm leaving.
Oh there, Powder Woman. You still didn't manage to blow yourself up?
Pretty quiet around here, huh?
Yeah, too quiet for my taste. Do you really imagine the Deadwalkers are going to forget about this place just because this swamp is dangerous?
No, but it'll slow them down, and maybe we'll see them coming.
Ha! You can bet your ass they're already here. There's something in the air that stinks, and I don't mean the locals either. I feel like the Ice Lords are watching us right now.
I have a few questions for you. How are the blades holding up?
We left some blood on the stones in the temple, but most of the company got away all right. But if we don't get some new recruits soon, things are gonna get serious. The captain has sent some men ahead to Karalthas. I hope they manage to pick up a few recruits, and they're not too scabby.
Isn't there anybody in this village worth recruiting?
See for yourself. There isn't a single man amongst the guards or the refugees that knows which end of a sword you're supposed to hold. We'll just have to wait. And be careful.
So you made it out of the temple then?
I did. I suppose my time's not up yet. I guess that'll cause more gossip amongst the youngsters. The eternal survivor. My balls. There are some days when I wish it would be over.
Yeah, right. You're gonna outlive all of us. Do you think we can win against the Deadwalker army?
Against the Deadwalker army? No chance. Now, the Ice Lords, that's another question.
What do you mean?
Only that sometimes you have to try to chop off the head, you know? That bunch of walking corpses wouldn't be any trouble at all if there was no one to guide them.
I guess you're right. But I don't think that makes the task any easier.
There was a time, way back, you know, when there were so many of us in the company, several hundred, that the captain decided to delegate. So he chose 2 lieutenants. Those 2 assholes fought over how to share out the men for weeks. They both wanted to take the best men for their group. And the result? We had our asses handed to us by an army that was hardly more numerous than we were. I guess what I'm trying to say is that the Deadwalkers are just the same. You've got 7 bosses, and each one of them wants to control everything.
So, if we could pit them against each other...
Now you're thinking straight. I don't know how we could do it, but I'm sure that it's possible.
See you later. be enough food. We'll see what Miranda says when we get back to the healing house. The mercenary salutes you, knight. I talked with the captain. He wants to see you. Come on, follow me.
Vulcan, I do love our little chats, but shouldn't you be doing something?
Captain, this is Ranval. He talks funny, but he can kick some ass.
So, it's Ranval, is it?
That is the knight's name. How can he prove his valor to you?
Alrighty then. I'm glad you warned me that he talks a bit funny. Right then, laddie. All you have to do is fight a duel with me. And do your best.
It will be an honor to fight with a man who they say has never been beaten.
If you think you can flatter me into letting you off lightly, forget about it. Like I said, do your best.
The knight hopes that he will be the first to vanquish him. He will not hold back his blows.
That's more like it. Let's see what you've got, laddie. Not bad. Not bad at all. Welcome to the Freeborn Blades, my boy. We were starting to be seriously short of fighters worthy of the name, and you fight like a man. Well, you're a ways off from beating me. Vulcan, he's your recruit. You can take care of him. Go on, away with you.
Welcome to the Freeborn Blades, friend. Don't take it so hard. The entry fight is a humiliation we all had to go through. Me including.
The captain deserves his post and his reputation. He is an exceptional warrior. The knight will be proud to serve under his orders. After such a combat, the knight will need to rest for a moment. He asks that his friend, and now sister, come to find him when she has need.
Okay, see you later. Here. I got those ingredients you wanted. And some things to eat as well.
This is very generous of you. I promise you this will save many lives.
What is the point? As useless as bandaging a corpse.
That just leaves the health potions. I brought everything you asked me for.
Yes, we are making progress. Is there anything else?
Let's talk about your healing house. I found you a few health potions. Here. I hope these will help cover your needs for a little while.
They will prove very useful, I promise you. And thank you.
You've got everything you need, I think.
Thank you for your help. But don't fool yourself. With all of these refugees, I never have everything we need. If you ever have any extra food or ingredients, I'd be happy to buy them from you.
I'll keep that in mind. I'll take my leave. See you later. Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
I need your help. Come with me?
If you want.
Here we go. Another one of these hick refugees. There's nothing for you here.
Call me a hick one more time, and I'll be using your face as an anvil.
Let's all remain calm, shall we? Please forgive my error. With all this commotion and all the thankless tasks I find myself confronted with, I often find my attention to detail slips. So, what can I do for you?
Show me what you have for sale.
Gold. So vulgar to work with. So wonderful to own. So, you have returned. What is your desire?
Get that forge cooking. You've got work to do. I don't want to see so much as a dent in the guard's armor. And we need some weapons with edges that will actually cut something.
I don't even have enough materials to forge a single sword worthy of the name. Sorry, but if what you want were possible, it would have been done long ago. What's more, I'm not really a blacksmith. If you want an assembly line of weapons, I wouldn't count too much on me.
So, all I need to do is to find another blacksmith.
Ha! Good luck with that. If they were as common as that, Valvanor would have had its own long ago, and I could happily return to creating my statues.
The steward said there was a beast attacking the villagers.
This is what one hears, yes. Something is wandering through the swamps, devouring the reckless. The saddest part is that it's often the guards who end up lost, along with their equipment. Meanwhile, we are overrun with refugees who serve no useful purpose at all.
I need more info about Valvanor.
And you have decided that I have a sympathetic face. It's the story of my life. Talent worthy of a king's ransom, but surrounded by cretins who only seek that which is free.
And the Red Scribes. Know anything about them?
Oh, certainly. A boring bunch of fusspots, spreading science and preaching the good word while never suspecting that anyone might see through their little game.
Our game? Well, pray tell. Give us the details. Please, give us the benefit of your extensive knowledge.
I don't pretend to know about all their little plots. I spend very little time with them, and frankly, I couldn't possibly care less about them. But I am fully aware that pretty speeches serve no better purpose than manipulating minds. They're nothing more than noisy masks behind which hides a reality that is far uglier. The more the melody is sweet, the better it distracts you. And is there anything more disgustingly melodious than the discourse of a Red Scribe?
When it comes to disgusting discourse, you seem to be something of an expert.
What can you tell me about the steward?
Oh, don't expect me to say anything bad about Bertolf Chambriad. I'm not always in agreement with him, but I can see that he knows his business. And he keeps the village relatively safe.
Do you know the woman who runs the healing house?
Oh, of course. She's all one hears about lately. Everyone here will tell you that she's a courageous woman, fighting a noble battle. Everyone but me. The woman's insane. There are already far too many mouths to feed in this camp. Clearly, she's fully aware of this, yet she stubbornly insists on making things worse.
It's not very often you see an elf blending in with other cultures. Are there many of you here in Valvanor?
To my knowledge, I was the only one. That is, until Prince Arundel and his acolyte arrived. Does that pose a problem for you?
Not at all.
Well, it does for me. His Majesty the Prince of Imbeciles is going to bring us nothing but trouble.
Let's talk about something else. I'll be back.
That's an excellent idea.
Yeah, they look like giant, you know, things.
Yes, I know what you're thinking, mercenary.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
We need to talk about your combat style.
What do you want me to do?
I know you want to help me.
You're right.
Poor guys are dog meat. But their equipment still seems to be in good shape. Mason will be relieved that his men didn't make too much of a mess of their weapons and stuff. poor guys are dog meat. But their equipment still seems to be in good shape. Mason will be relieved that his men didn't make too much of a mess of their weapons and stuff. say. They always end up with their pieces, which is a real good reason to stop distracting.
This is horrible. We can't just leave that woman in this prison. We must find a way to free her from here.
Sybil, do not do that! I know this woman. She is not here by accident. She is a witch. If you free her, we all run the risk of falling under the power of her magic.
But Father, we can't just let this poor person die here. It would be inhuman.
Inhuman? That is exactly what she is, my child.
He's the wicked one. Aeolus, is it not? He's the one who imprisoned me, with no food or water, and barely clothed.
I what? You lying bitch! Don't listen to her.
Father?
She is trying to manipulate you. Use your brain, child.
I'm begging you, get me out of here. I can't hold on much longer.
Who are you?
My name is Edwen. The ignorant will tell you that I'm a witch, a sorceress, or even a necromancer. The truth is much simpler and more socially acceptable. I am, in fact, a magician. But neither as powerful nor as evil-minded as they think me.
She lies to thee. She is hiding something, and it is not her body.
You would say that.
I beg your pardon.
No, nothing.
Believe me, she is powerful. She is evil, and she is a danger to us all.
You seem to know a lot about her. What the hell are you doing here anyway?
The steward asked me to look into a dark power that has been affecting some of the villagers. Something evil. And my search has led me here. It is no coincidence. That cursed woman is the cause.
I wouldn't expect him to admit to keeping a woman captive in the swamps for his own evil purposes.
Nonsense.
And so you just trotted out here with no escort? What? Were you afraid we'd charge you extra?
I came here as quickly as possible, yes, to stop you committing a grievous error. I was hoping that you would escort us back to the village afterwards. Without a supplement, yes. Seems to me that you are quite well paid.
I've never been in the habit of just letting people die like animals in a cage, whatever their crimes may be. This woman doesn't look like a dead walker. That's enough for me. We'll take her back to Valvanor, and you can tell your stories to them.
Stay away, you stupid girl. No, no, you fool! Don't release her!
Now meet your eternity.
What are you doing to him? Let him go!
Very well. You may have him. I am finished.
Father? Father! Oh no, no! This can't be happening!
You're gonna wish you died back in that cell, you sick bitch!
Wait, wait! If I am to die, I wish to know who stands before me.
I'm just a pissed-off mercenary who's gonna get her ass chewed out big time as soon as we get back to camp. And since there's no damn way I'm letting you just walk away from this, you're gonna come with me. We'll let the other Red Scribes decide your fate.
You're going to submit me to judgment before those madmen? They're no better than the monsters you fight against. Red Scribes, Ice Lords, they come from the same mold, and they want the same thing. Some are simply more successful in their efforts. Aeolus thought I possessed knowledge which he could use to become the equal of the Ice Lords. That's why he questioned me.
So what? We're at war and getting our asses kicked. We can't really blame him for trying to find a way to stop the Deadwalkers.
Of course. It was for the good of all that I was captured and sequestered here in secret. It was to protect freedom that I was starved, tortured, and humiliated for weeks on end. It was goodwill and kindness that made him enslave a monster to guard my prison. Oh yes, I heard them, all of the screams. That beast did not lack for meat. No, indeed. Yes, in truth, the Scribe was such a brave man that it was only for the happiness of his darling daughter that he tried to stab her.
That's ridiculous! You are the monster! You're a liar! My father wasn't like that! A liar! You murderer! You'll pay for what you did!
Sybil, wait! Shit. Witch, I suggest you behave yourself if you don't want to find yourself back rotting in that cell of yours. I am far from finished with you. I have questions. Lots of questions. And you better make damn sure that I like the answers.
So be it. Then I will tell you exactly what you want to hear, mercenary.
You had the upper hand. Why did you decide to kill the leader of the Red Scribes?
I desperately needed to replenish my power, so I drained his. My mood grows a bit murderous when I get too hungry, or when I spend too many days trapped in a filthy cell without so much as a toilet. Your friend was no hero. His aim was to reproduce the same ancient rituals that permitted powerful magicians to become the Ice Lords that we are fighting even now.
He was not my friend, he was my employer. And a very influential man. You could have spared him, giving credence to your version of events. But you chose to kill him, and thus any chance of them listening to you.
He was a deceitful and manipulative man. No one would have listened to me, so I permitted myself the pleasure of preventing him from harming anyone else.
The World Heart has had nothing but suffering from these magicians. I rejoice at this death. We need more like it.
Your pleasure won't last long. I have to bring you to Valvanor where both of us are going to be in a lot of trouble. And since you took it upon yourself to kill their leader, I think you can expect that the Red Scribes are going to want you dead.
Do what you must do, mercenary. I'm your prisoner and will offer no resistance. Therefore, take me to your captain.
My captain? We have a contract with the Red Scribes. If you have decided you'd rather end it all, I can do it right here, right now if you like. Cleanly. Otherwise, your best move is to tell your side of the story to the steward. If he'll even listen to you.
Ah, but there is the girl.
What girl? Sybil? You're dreaming. You killed her father right before her own eyes. She's never gonna take your side.
On the contrary, she will tell the truth. She will confirm all that happened here.
We'll see. But whatever happens, if I go down witch, I guarantee you'll go down even harder. Besides Aeolus, did you see any of the other Red Scribes?
I was drugged before being brought here. Aeolus is the only scribe who came to visit me during my captivity. But his second-in-command must have known. Although I don't know exactly how much Aeolus was able to manipulate his puppets. If they are all as naive as his daughter, I imagine the temptation must have been great.
Let's finish this discussion in Valvanor. We'd better get back before they send a battalion out to look for us. He'll be pissed, but I've got to go face him.
Well, first go see your steward before the villagers decide to burn me at the stake. I mean, if you want to, Vulcan.
It'll probably turn into an interrogation pretty quickly. Try not to make it worse for yourself. Don't kill anyone for starters, especially if he's wearing red.
That seems reasonable to me, for the moment. I'd rather stay here if you don't mind.
Why? You're not planning to give me the slip by any chance, are you?
I don't like the idea of getting locked up by the Red Scribes again. It might provoke me into a loss of my legendary restraint. And I'm sure that you don't want to have to scrape another one of your employers up off the ground.
Well, it's true that I prefer they remain in one piece. All right, fine. You can stay here. But if you get it in your head to run away, I will find you. And you won't like it when I do.
I'm trembling, but yes, I'll wait here.
So, did you find this famous beast?
Found it and killed it. But don't hold your breath waiting for its fur for next winter. Because I didn't bring it back for you.
Excellent news. I knew the village could count on you.
Actually, not so excellent. Aeolus is dead.
Dead? But no, that's not possible. Are you sure?
When it doesn't move, and it doesn't breathe, and it looks at you with an even stupider gaze than one of your guards, that generally means it's dead, yeah.
I demand that you show some respect. The Red Scribes are a precious help to us here. Aeolus was a useful man, a good man, and he was under your care.
Don't make me laugh. Your good man had a few skeletons in his closet. He was controlling this swamp beast to keep people away. He had you all fooled. Aeolus was even ready to kill his own daughter to cover up his secrets.
What nonsense is this? How can you make such ridiculous accusations? Am I to understand he died at your hands?
He turned up all alone at the place where I fought the beast. No guide, no escort. He knew the way. And after coming after Sybil, he tried to kill his captive to shut her up. There was a fight, and he didn't survive.
What madness. What do you know of this prisoner? If Aeolus held her captive, she must have been dangerous.
She doesn't talk much, but something tells me she knows more than she's letting on about the Ice Lords.
I don't like this. You realize you may have set a wolf among the sheep.
Or maybe someone who could be useful in our fight with the Deadwalkers?
Well then, you must find out immediately. As of now, she is your responsibility. I should deliver her to the Red Scribes without any further ado, yet, after what you have told me, I no longer know what to think. She will be given a fair hearing. Until that time, she never leaves your presence. If there is the least incident, I promise you, you shall answer for it. And there is no prison here, in case you had not noticed.
Okay, sounds fair to me.
However low your opinion was of Aeolus, his death is a great loss for Valvanor. He was meant to be looking into a most disturbing matter.
All right, I can see where this is headed. What do you want?
There is no guarantee that you have the necessary skills to handle this matter, Freeborn Blade. Even Mirana is flummoxed.
What is it? An epidemic?
That's exactly what I'd like to know. Several of the villagers have been behaving curiously of late. They have become distant, taciturn, and barely react to the world around them.
They're just hungover. You'd know if you got drunk more often. And you look like you need to.
I believe there are a few here who know the difference. It's something else. They seem very concentrated, as though they are observing us. I feared some kind of sickness and that it will spread throughout the village.
Got it. I'll slap him around a little. That should wake him up.
My goodness. That's not exactly what I had in mind, but I must confess the results interest me more than the methods.
Well, that's gonna be my method. So let's leave it at that if you don't mind. I'm not helping you because you made puppy eyes at the captain.